looks like we are live. Sort of. It says going live again. We're live. Hello, welcome back to my channel. My name is Casey, and this is Teacher Casey channel now. I got to get used to saying that. It throws me off every time. So, how's everybody doing today? Hey, Cindy.
Really good. Yeah, I'm good.
Good. I see Rebecca is here in the chat. Thanks for coming, Rebecca. I know we waited a little bit. I wasn't sure who was coming today, but we figured we'd come on live. And Amanda is joining us here shortly. Super excited to have you. And
Hello.
hi.
I'm a mess, so I'm trying to fix my Manicam. There we
We're
go.
already live. Cindy, would you like to introduce yourself?
I'm Cindy Bennett, and I work for VIPKid and Kid, as well as Out School. And I also have a YouTube channel, and I am hatching chicks right now. So you can go watch my really, really raw chick video. I just said, well, I'm going to switch out my incubator. So I'm going to go ahead and make a video of it, even though I wasn't really, like feeling 100%. I'm like, I'm just going to do it. But yeah, and I also have the VIPKid iPad users group on Facebook, which is a place where people can go to find out tips about using iPad for teaching or as a backup.
Excellent. Yeah, and I think Kid has a deal right now, right?
Oh man, yeah. I have like 3 videos on my channel, and I actually got one referral. She just got her contract like today. She's loading up her information, and I'm going to do an interview with her soon. But yeah, they're offering $300 if you sign up, and then 30 days from when you sign your contract, you open the slots, and even if they don't get filled, as long as you've opened them and you've taught 3 classes, you get a $300 bonus. So it's an amazing deal.
So send me a link, Cindy, and we'll put it in the description box below for the replay.
Great. Awesome.
So, hey, Amanda, thanks for coming.
Hello. Sorry, I'm a little messy.
Perfect.
I had to run around and fix everything. So.
Oh, you're human?
I know, this is real life here.
Well, I got a little distracted because my little boy came in right before we were going live with a box from the mail. And he was like, Mommy, I don't like this box. And he slammed it down and he was like, it's all lavender. Well, he thought it was a gift for his birthday, and it actually was a gift for me. And so I was looking through this box with these smelly candles and a thank you from Amy Porterfield that I work with and support in her company and learn my courses from on my second launch. So congratulations. So I'm crying. I got confetti like all over. It's such a mess. So here I am.
Oh,
wonderful.
That's a good mess, though.
That is a good mess. So he was mad because he was expecting a Rubik's Cube that was for his birthday, didn't arrive in time. And so he stomped up there. Mom, it's my birthday, but you got a box. Oh, what a grumpy 12-year-old. Welcome to 12.
Right?
Yeah.
Welcome. I'll do my intro after all my chat time. So it's a happy mess at my house. I am Amanda teacher. I support online teachers who are looking to integrate technology into their classroom, whether you are a brick and mortar teacher, a preschool online teacher, an ESL teacher, an out school, whatever you do, and want to incorporate technology into your teaching. I'm your go-to girl. I got the right tools. And kitty cat visitor, it's a mess here, but hey, here I am. I am love to be with you and chat on Collaboration Station and with Casey and with Cindy. So thank you for having me.
Yes, I'm so glad you're here. And I've been told that people come to this channel because A, I'm a little crazy, and B, we're real life here. So let's keep it that way. That's the best way to be. So hey, Kathy, thanks for coming. And I think I said hello to Rebecca. Rebecca rocks. She is always supporting this channel, whether she can be live with us or in the chat. So let's get started right away with managing student behavior. And so lately I've had one that's been a little bit tricky for me to deal with online. I know exactly how I would handle it in the classroom, and it's always a little bit different. And I've seen questions in the Facebook group from a lot of the newbies. So I thought this would be a good topic. We've dove into this a little bit when we first started, but it's always good to revisit this one. So what do you guys think? Kelly, sorry, I saw Kathy Kelly pop up here. Cindy, do you want to talk about what happened today? You said you had an
Yeah,
incident.
I will tell you. For some reason, I'm hearing an echo. Do you guys hear an echo at all? No?
I don't.
I
Do you,
was.
Amanda?
Okay.
I was, but it's not me because
You were.
I have
Okay.
headphones.
Maybe it's me then.
Was your
Okay.
sound coming out your speakers?
I'm not hearing it right now.
I don't know.
No, good. It sounds
Okay,
better.
so I saw on maybe it's my microphone. Is it in my choose? Okay, it says AirPods. Okay, should be okay. So I saw on Facebook somebody posted about two kids that were exactly like two kids that I have. And one of them was he, like, this one kid, he'll turn on the camera for a second and then turn it off. So I have to teach to a non-camera kid, and he just seems really bored and like he doesn't want to participate at all. And so when I start my day, I look at my phone, I go, oh, who's first? And that kind of gets me excited if it's somebody that I'm excited about. Well, that kid was first today. And I was like, I don't really want to do this, right? But then all the comments were, you just do it. You just do it. You know, it's 25 minutes. You give it all you got, smile, you know, just give it all you got, whatever. Well, kind of the same thing. And I'm like, you know, I really don't want this kid to be bored. I don't want him to think this is what it's all about. You know, I want him to be happy to come to class. Well, toward the end of class, he sort of turned his camera around and I saw out his window. I saw his buildings and stuff. And I thought that was really cool. So then I said, do you want to see out my window? And so then I have a window that fortunately was all green and it was light and everything. I have plants going, I have an incubator going, and he was so excited and he really turned into another kid. And so, you know, I just think that sometimes, you know, we do need to go beyond the curriculum and don't expect the curriculum to brighten their day as much as, you know, maybe there's something else you can bring into the class too. And he really brightened up and he's like, oh, I have a friend that has chickens and he's got da 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 da, you know. And fortunately, we had a few minutes toward the end of class to be able to talk. And so it, you know, so that's what I would say. If you have a student that you're really not connecting with, try something different. Show them your cat, show them their, you know, a plant, show them out your window, do something that kind of tries to connect with them in another way.
Yeah, very good. Amanda, somebody wrote something in our chat that reminded me of one you talked about one time. Did you see what it was? Or
I'm not watching the chat.
It wasn't in this chat. It was in our Monday collaboration group with some of the lists. Let's see. I don't know, but one of the ones that somebody mentioned was inappropriate behaviors, like potty time. And Amanda Panda has a little sign. I'm not in my classroom, so. Oh, good. The echo is gone. Oh, good. So Amanda Panda has a sign that has like a potty and a no.
So and you know what? I took it out of my my right next to my desk because I don't have potty time problems anymore. I teach only regulars. And so when I was new, I really needed that sign. But basically, there it is.
Yeah.
Cindy's got it. It's please wait. So I taught my regulars when they were very young. I began with kids starting in level 1. So they are 4 and 5. And I'm sorry, like potty time's just going to happen. So I taught them to I hold up that little sign with the toilet and no iPad. I would hold it up and tell them, please wait, teacher will wait. And I would teach them to say WC. That's what they learn in their English classes in their schools. So it's a relatable term. They don't always know bathroom, but they know WC. So I teach them to say, teacher, please wait, I will go to WC. And so those two sentences were like the very beginning thing I taught when kids had to go to the bathroom. So yes, certainly I've been taken on the iPad to the bathroom. I don't have that experience very much anymore because I teach a crew of regulars that are much older. It is just children and it's a different culture than ours. In China, you go into the bathroom, it's community communal bathrooms with outdoors. People talk and chat and they do their business, and it's not like the privacy that we feel in America. So that doesn't really bother me. If I saw private parts of children, then of course I would close my camera and then I would do the proper protocols. But in general, for a kid who's using the potty or whatever's got to happen, like these are very, very expensive classes for parents. And I realize that kids are very young. And so I'm a go with the flow kind of girl. I don't have to worry about that so much.
Yeah, I don't really have too much of it anymore either, but once in a while I'll end up in there with a new student. But I'm the same way. I think I've told you on here before, in Japan, we had to walk through the men's room to get to the women's room sometimes on some of the rest areas and stuff. Yeah, so it's just not as big of a deal in other cultures as it is here. Rebecca said she needs that sign. You can get it on Amanda Panda Teacher Etsy shop.
I don't have it. I'm making a new bundle of resources. That was a freebie I gave for a whole month with orders. So I don't actually have that in my shop right now, but definitely I've got a list and I'm on my way to get some more printables. So definitely I'll be adding that back in.
Good. We'll have to let Rebecca know when that is up there.
Definitely.
All right.
I've used it for myself. One time I had to go to the WC and I'm like, wait just a minute. Like, and they're like, okay.
Funny.
I think having the image is very helpful. So like whether it's an emergency for yourself or for the student, it's always nice to have that as a tool that you have right next to your computer. So I've got go-to popsicle stick tools. That was one of them, but I recently pared down a bit to get back to what's real simple. I'm all about that now because I used to have a room full of props. I use a lot of digital, but it certainly is nice to have that available. So
I think there should be an emergency bathroom button for us for the firemen.
I think so. That would be nice.
Help for you're sitting in a student no-shows and I swear that's when I think about it. Like when you have students go, you don't think about it. But when you're just sitting there, it's like, I really would like to.
I want to run and come back.
Technically that you could use your iPad for that because you could just like mute it and you could put something like put a sticky note in front of it or something. And because I'm always nervous, like if I run out, like I can put something, I can make this sun. This is what I did today. I can make this sun really big. So if the kid's not here, I can like play with my phone and they still can kind of see me. But like if I did that and then I left and went to the bathroom, I'm always afraid the kid's going to show up.
Right.
But at least on the iPad, I know like book it back, the kids on the iPad.
Wireless headphones. I can walk through all my whole house and still hear what's going on.
That's true.
So it's very handy. I
have kids
wireless headphones.
Kids that will show up and I'm looking down and they don't make any noise. They just
they want to take longer.
I have a student behavior that just happened to me since Cindy shared a recent class. I don't very often see new students, but I saw a new student, 7th class with VIPKid, 14 years old, level 3, unit 1. Wow. So remember, that is about the days of the week. What a boring old unit to start with and kind of babyish for a kid who's 14. So she did not come on camera. This is what I saw.
Oh, yeah.
And I didn't put any pressure or ask her to come up into the camera because she told me she was 14 years old. And I know about teenagers and kids that age. So it's all about adapting and learning to the particular student in that situation. I watched the video of her before with the teacher before. She was like this. With the teacher before, she doesn't want to be on camera. And so I was cool with that. I taught the class, and really what we did in level 3 unit 1 about the days of the week is worked on her pronunciation of the days of the week to get that perfected. And I asked her what she did during the days of the week with many more questions because she has more oral language skill of like the words. She knows a lot more vocabulary. She's been taking English classes in school, but as far as her level placement, I think VIPKid's still playing with that a bit. And so maybe her pronunciation, she needed sentence structure and other other resources and help, but she knew Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday from her learning from school. Just like the kids in OWC, she knew all those days. So it's all about adapting with different student behaviors. What I have called the firemen for a kid like this. No, like, did I need to address it with her? I didn't say a single thing. So
I usually try to ask them like, "Oh, I can't see you," just to see if they come on, but I don't press it.
Yeah, I put it in the feedback every time, and they don't change it. Like sometimes he has changed it, but I don't try to push it either, because I figure, there's we don't know why they're doing it, but he just seemed really bored, and
so any tips
that was more important to me.
Yeah. Any tips for disrespectful students? Like one, like maybe just yelling at you, or no teacher, or what, from watching a previous video, I told him he doesn't yell at me. I had one that was hitting his mom, and I tell him we don't do that in my classroom. And they eventually listened to me. But do you have any tips or tricks for students that have been disrespectful?
So my one example of the only one time I called the firemen for behavior. And so this was a student using an iPad. She was taking the iPad in a spinning chair.
That's so.
And I get motion sickness so bad. Sorry, I had a little cough attack. And so I could not handle it. I am so patient. From the day to the night, I have patience like 100 trillion times, but this one I just could not take it anymore. So I called the fireman, and the fireman messaged on the screen in Chinese so she could answer and see more clearly. It didn't really make her stop, but at least I had some way to get some help. So in that way, that student behavior was so disrespectful. I used my stop sign. I told her, stop. I said, stop spinning, sit down, go to the table, all the words that I needed to give to her to get her to stop spinning in the chair. And she could care less about listening to me. So the firemen did come, they tried, and so they could not do anything. And I just finished the class. I got through the slides at the second of 25 minutes. Goodbye, see you next time. And I wrote a feedback to the parents that was very clear. I cannot teach a class with your daughter when she is spinning with the iPad in a chair. I cannot teach your daughter if she does not sit at a desk or table. So I wrote very simple sentences. I wrote to the firemen. I wrote to the LP. And then I actually never had a class with her again after that class. So I had to put a sticky note over her view on my computer screen and stop looking at her to continue and finish the class. So I got through and I made it. It was not a comfortable situation. That was one class out of 3,500. So I just know that that's going to happen. If a kid is saying bad words and I am using my stop, I am telling them, stop, don't say it. The fireman is the only thing that you can do. But other situations like that are not as severe would not be reasons why I call the fireman. I think that you have to remember, especially if you're a beginner, the firemen are very busy. They have multiple classes to watch all at one time. So really, it's our job to deal with almost all of the behaviors except for the most extreme. So that spinning iPad thing, I could not get stopped. I did everything I could. I was like, call mom, call dad. I was telling her all the things I wanted her to do, and she did none of it and kept spinning. Woo, 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 woo. It was like, it was awful. I thought I was going to puke. I probably would have. Like, it's terrible. I was so sick. So you just have to know that like there are times like that. So what happened, because I never call the firemen. So I think they realize, hey, Teacher Amanda's calling, whoever watches over me, who's assigned to me as the fireman. I never call for tech support. I always have hardly any tech problems. Like, so when I call for help, I really need help. And so they were there like that in a second. They wrote in the chat box, they sent a message to the kid through their device and did what they could, but they can't do everything. So
speaking of using the phrase call mom, call dad, if you watch, Angela Silva has a video on managing students where she was a brand ambassador a couple of years ago. And she gives you the phrase in Mandarin, how to say call mom, call dad, or is mom there? Is dad there? She said, and normally if you have a disrespectful student, that's all it takes is to use that phrase. And there are two little short phrases. I wish I could remember them right now, but if you go to Angela Silva's video, you can pick up those quick little phrases. So I thought that was kind of funny. One thing she mentions in her video is to be mindful of your attention. And this is something I've had to do with a couple of students. If I have tried to tell them to stop and they don't, then they probably want attention for it. So then I realize I just need to ignore it. And luckily, ignoring it works for my new little friend, because he will draw pictures of me dying and say, look, teacher is dead. Teacher is getting eaten by a lion, or, but if I try to even say anything, which that doesn't bother me as bad. He's shot me before, he threw spitballs the other day in class at me. He's just kind of a little naughty. And now I just ignore it. And I think he gets tired of it because he's like, oh, well, that wasn't fun. That's not a reaction. So I think maybe after he tries everything he can, it'll be done. But it's been something new every time. So we've been through spitballs. We've been through shootings.
And I think it's maturity too. Like kids are naughty. There's like a little years of naughty phase when they're just like, they're small and they're learning English and they want to see your reaction when you say something like a bad word or a cuss word or draw a gun or shoot you up or bring a gigantic toy to show you. It's all about just your reaction to get you to respond. So I often, if I can't beat them, I join them. So for example, the scribbler that scribbles on the screen, well, let's see how much we can scribble. I'll color red. And I scribble everywhere. Then I erase it and we scribble a whole bunch. If they're drawing a whole bunch, okay, you want to draw? Let's skip to the last slide. Let's draw something of a vocabulary word that we're learning from the lesson. So it's all about just finding ways to get around that behavior when the student behavior, when it is so severe, you do need help. But and other times it's just 25 minutes. The kids are going to go through seasons. Really, I've taught regulars over many years. Some units, they're great. Some they're, and some they're good and some they're bad. And if their family's super busy, or if it's a holiday or exams, or they're going to cram school until 10 o'clock at night. My 8-year-old student, Amy, is taking cram school. Her mother is a nurse and her father is a businessman. So, and there's two sisters. I teach both of them. She's teaching cram school and taking VIPKid classes with me. My very last slot, that's 8:30 p.m. And she has been in school since 8 in the morning. That is 12 hours that she has been at school and she's seeing me. So just know that they are under immense pressure. Like it is very hard for them. Like this time, depending on their socioeconomic status of their parents, this cram school is very expensive, and it is Saturday and Sunday. It is after school from like 4 to 10 p.m. Like all the days up until they take their exams. It is a huge thing. And so mom and dad are pumping money into these two kids, as well as VIPKid on top of it. It is so much for them. And so I tell her, it's okay. We're going to have a fun English class today. I am so happy to see you. Let's talk in English. You can do it. And that's my response when they're so stressed, because it is hard for them. I just generally let them know you care for them. You're there for them. I hope you can have fun on the weekend is what I tell my students who are studying hard.
I think the word is empathy, right? We need to know, I mean, they're going through a lot. They're busy little students with all of their schooling and things. And empathy for the parents too, like you said. So
so the higher socioeconomic status, the mom is a nurse, the dad is a businessman, and so their status of how much the parents are making really gives them money to affect their children's lives, but also that pressure is like trillion billion times more.
As far as like scribbling and things like that, I find for the younger ones, first, then works. That's worked in my classroom, brick and mortar as well. First we do this, then you can scribble, and that seems to work for a lot of the little ones too. And they're like, oh, so
great.
Yeah.
Also first and then with the interactive pieces. So like in the interactive things that move on the slide, first I'll let them play where they just drag it for fun. And then we'll do the learning part where we say the sentence for each piece. So that's always a good strategy just for slide by slide wise too.
Yeah. Let's see. Rebecca said I might have covered her with a sticky note, so I don't see that, but she needs to focus too. Kathy said I really like that idea with the scribbling and drawing. Rebecca said I have to remember that these lessons are extra, so I have relaxed on the project some over the years. Yeah, I agree.
I also relax with the grading too. Oh, don't tell anybody. But basically, every kid who comes to my class gets all the highest scores, because unless they totally absolutely bomb, and they don't bomb because I'm their teacher, so they got it. But the highest scores, because I know there's so much pressure in their outside school life. So
Yeah.
unless they absolutely don't get it, like on a level 6 student, there's 6 vocabulary words. If really truly they don't get all the 6 and they can't do them with even with me giving a little tip or support, if I TPR it or I give them a strategy, that I will mark it down to the next bubble lower score. But in general, every single class, they have the highest score and success, even on UAs, because
Yeah.
I know that they're trying. I know that they're successful, and I support them along the way. I believe a UA is just a continuation of my lessons. I'm giving an assessment, but that doesn't mean I don't help them and support them so they can feel successful. So come back to my class, because teacher Amanda, yeah, we get good grades, and learning is fun, and English is successful. They need success because
Yeah.
they are ranked against their peers to be the top students and the lowest students. It's rough. The education system is really hard for them. So might as well make VIPKid happy.
Make them want to go back. Yeah. Good. Let's see. Also, set expectations. I think I don't necessarily say them, but if you have a student that is particularly difficult, you can have a couple of things written, or I don't know if I saw this with you, Amanda, if you have something, or I know Angela Silva had a whiteboard, but VIPKid teaches level 2, listen to the teacher, speak English, ask for help. And then she said at the end, she adds be kind. And she said she'll show the students, oh, if you do a good job and show them the rules, then they do their reward. And she said all of her, they want that reward, and she does a fun drawing reward. There's all my R's, Cindy. Drawing reward. With them when
Well,
they're
it's
following
an R on drawing.
Drawing.
Yeah.
Drawing. Oh, that's such funny. Speaking of teaching English. Oh, super. So what else do you have to add? I see Gwen just joined us. Hey, Gwen. She said she works for VIPKid and just started with Protostar. Awesome. I've heard of Protostar before, but I don't have much information. We might have to talk about that sometime. So managing student behaviors. What else do you have, guys?
I think we've talked about it before, where if they come into class and they are doing an assessment and they don't have it, like some of my students, they don't have it, they're not planning on doing it, they didn't do it, they're not going to do it. So I always just go to the blank slide. I had one student that never did get the idea that they were supposed to be drawing it. So I just drew it, and we talked about all the different parts, and I still gave them the points, because I figured it's like Amanda, as long as we had time for it, and they were there, they participated, and I might say next time, Johnny, it would be good if he would do the drawing or something like that, so put something in feedback. And I always do positive feedback. Like even the kid that turns the screen off, I don't say, it was really annoying that your child did not turn the screen on. I just say, next time, it would be great if he could turn the screen on so that we can have, so I can see him and how he forms his words or something like that. So always because I'm always afraid, like if I say anything too negative, that the kid's going to get in trouble for it. So I don't want to get the kid in trouble. Here they are doing extra classes, and, I want them to want to come back, and then next time it won't be so difficult. And then if I come down on them and I say something negative, the parent might force them to come, and then we're going to have a bad relationship. And so I just think it's really important, no matter what you say in feedback, it's always giving the kid the benefit of the doubt, maybe he had a pimple on his nose, didn't want to, open the screen. We don't know.
Right.
You just go with it and try to be positive. And I'm learning a lot from this because I'm not always positive in real life. So it kind of comes back to me for real life. How did you treat this person? Were you positive? Did you bring, the best out in that person, whatever.
Right.
So, just by doing this job, I thought, how many times have I been negative? And then I think I want a positive response.
Yeah.
But when we give a positive response and we give grace to the other person, then we can get it back too. So that's my sermon for today.
But being positive and giving positive feedback is good, but being truthful and factual to the things that will improve the learning environment is important. So like if the kid is spinning in the chair with the iPad, factually, I wrote it without emotion, factually, your daughter cannot take English class while spinning in a chair. Your daughter cannot learn English if she is not sitting at a desk in your home. Your daughter cannot learn English if the iPad is not sitting on a desk in the home. I wrote 3 sentences about that were very clear and direct, simple sentences, not compound. So when they translate to the parents, they got the message 3 ways that, hey, you cannot take the class spinning in your chair. And they didn't come back to me again. And that's okay, because I was not their cup of tea, but their child cannot be successful. They are wasting their money. And so I am wasting my time. And so it was totally a disrespectful, unproductive. I cannot teach class in that situation. There are other
definitely
behaviors.
Extreme.
There are other behaviors. Like one of my students is an older student. I've taught him since level 3. He's in 6. He takes 3 VIPKid classes a week, year round, like every single week of the year, no breaks. 3. And so now he's from level 3 all the way to level 6. So there are seasons with him when it was less focused. He would come to class and I know he had the TV on right next to him. And so I would mention, John, it's time for English class. Look at the teacher. And it was okay if he had that TV. That was his choice for that season in that lesson. But it ebbs and flows. Now he's level 6 and he can converse. He has so much more English that he really can participate in the class. He's doing the thoughtful questions about answering because and why. But that just was a time when he was not as focused. And that will be like that. Some kids will be into it and some won't. Think of your own children. If you have kids over the long life of their learning, sometimes they're really in for learning and sometimes they're like, oh, this is terrible. So I just had to know that about him and give him a little grace in that situation. If it really was so bad and it kept going more than a few lessons over a week or 2, I would message the mom on WeChat because we are connected and let her know, hey, John's watching TV in the classes, just to let you know. He's doing a good job. He's a great student. I would give a lot of positive things just factually, because I know that if he's taking 3 a week, she is not watching feedback, probably not reading my feedback as much because she's a judge. She works in the court system in China. She's a judge, and she works a lot of hours, and his dad's a businessman. So, I mean, it's all about their family busy life, but they are trusting VIPKid to teach their only son to speak English, and he's much improved.
Right.
Yeah. And I did, my other student that was difficult was doing, like, he's kind of new to me, but he clicks. Like, as soon as I go, oh, here we go. He's click, 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 click.
Like with a pen or something?
No, he's playing a game
the mouse
on the other side.
Oh.
Yeah, with the mouse. So it is a challenge. And, I remember the person on Facebook was saying, it's so annoying, like, and your like flesh is going, oh, I don't want to do this again. But then your teacher has to say, what am I going to do? But I have noticed that if I do speak to them during class, like sometimes we're afraid to say anything. Well, some teachers, I think, not us, but some teachers I've seen are afraid to say anything and to say, come on, pay attention. I only have you for 25 minutes, focus on the lesson and then you can go do your thing. and sometimes they look around and they're like, they know if their parent is listening or something, they could get in trouble.
Yeah.
So maybe just a little word. Don't be afraid to try and bring their attention to the class.
Right.
Don't just put up with it. I don't always do that. I don't just put up with it. I'll just be like, come on. I do what I can gently. And then I might say something in deep. But I mean, if they're spinning in a chair, like I had one kid that was screaming. Her name was Kathy. She would get on the lesson and she would like scream. And I noticed in feedback, she did that for other teachers too. And that, that's just ridiculous. Just mute the button and just, pretend you're a TV show, because there's no way I'm gonna, reach a person that's screaming,
Right. One thing I heard was be, more distracting than the distraction. So, you have to try to figure out something they
That's
like
true.
or they enjoy so that you can get them away from that. I have another Angela Silva thing that I thought was interesting. She said sometimes she'll put a timer and for her reward or something, so they know when something's coming up. And I was thinking, well, aren't they just like staring at the timer, but she would do like a 5-minute or whatever timer, and then, oh, teacher, it's up. But they would listen and watch the whole thing because they were getting a reward soon. And I thought, oh, that's kind of smart, So she said, yes, they're looking at the timer, but they're getting more out of it than if they were playing with their video game over here, I was like, oh, that was kind of neat. So there are all kinds of things you can try, guys. Like we've said on here before, it's like a bag of tricks. What works for one student's not going to work for another one, right? So find out what they're interested in. If somebody on Collaboration once told me, if you see like a shirt they're wearing and it's like Ultraman, well, bring that, was that you? Yeah, so bring that, and I'd steal all your things, Amanda Panda. We're the size of toast. Bring Ultraman with you or something. I have Ultraman stars now that I have one student. I have the same 6 stars, guys, and he will work for those. I go 1, 2, 3, ta-da! And he tries to match me with his cards, and we do it every week. And that is his favorite reward. So just, find out what they're interested in. With the older kids, extending and asking questions about themselves seem to work for me. They want to talk about themselves. They don't necessarily care what the adults are doing right now, but as teenagers, they want to talk about themselves, their day, and things like that. So I think that's kind of a good idea.
Definitely.
That's pretty much all I have.
I want to add one more strategy for unit assessments. Sorry, I have cat visitor again. For unit assessments, so I have Megan Mike on popsicle sticks. They are just the best on unit assessments. So that can also be a pretty boring lesson with not a lot of fun things to do. So the kids get bored. They are not clicking. They love to drag and drop that Megan Mike. When we get to the UA slides and we jump from level 1 to like the different levels in the UAs. So I take Megan Mike and they take Megan Mike and we stack them on top to each other. And Meg talks to Mike, oh no, Mike, don't drop me. Ah! And they think it's hilarious. So they'll move their Megan Mike on the screen and then we'll say like level 1 beacon. And then we go on to the next one. So that's 5 opportunities, 5 different slides where I've got 2 popsicle stick props, easy to use, where we've stacked them on top. We're learning some new language. They're having fun. They're interacting. So if you can find more opportunities like that, especially for little kids, it really gets their eyes looking at you. That's my more recent tip. So.
Right. Rebecca said she found I just totally broke my pen while sitting here. Rebecca said she found Ultraman on Minicam. Oh, yes. Fun.
Ultraman's on Minicam.
So if you need help with Minicam, Amanda Panda has a course on it. Is there a wait list?
Yes, I'm teaching it now, but you can join the Facebook group. It's called Manicam Community. In that group, you can get in there because the next challenge will be in August. I'll run the course again. So I'm teaching beginners how to use Manicam from the beginning. Cindy was my student. She learned Manicam effects. It's a great course and restructured to do it over 2 weeks. So I just started the first classes today. As well, I have tips and I go live and talk about student behavior and share tips in my other group, Online Teaching Made Easy. So we work hard to make online teaching easy, so that you can have strategies and tips that help you and get your great resources. So if you join one of those two groups, Cindy has iPad group, Casey has Collaboration Station. There's lots of ways to build community to get ideas to support you. So
Gwen said, for kids who get frustrated, I try to let them be the teacher for a minute. I have them teach me the numbers 1 through 5 in Chinese. I speak awful Chinese. They laugh. I laugh. Rapport built. I say, okay, teacher, whoever, you teach me. Yeah, they love to be the teacher too. That's a good point, Gwen. All right, friends. Thanks for coming and hanging out with us today. Cindy, I love your springtime mini cam things over there. Uh-oh, I think you're muted.
Yeah, I love Manicam, and I was like, what am I going to do with all these props? And a friend of mine who did not use my code, I don't even know whose code she used, probably Angela Silva's.
Uh-oh, not me, right?
Oh, you can't hear me? What?
I hear you.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, a friend of mine in town where I live, she was a new teacher and she wanted some props, and she's like, there's no way I'm learning all the Manicam stuff. So I just packed up a bunch of my stuff and gave it to her. So that was awesome. So it made her day.
I need to downsize now. So I bought Amanda's class. I just haven't finished it.
Really?
Oh yeah. I was in one of the first groups and I still haven't done it. But yeah, I'll get there. Amanda just smiles. She's like, oh, Casey.
You will.
All right, Gwen, I look forward to talking to you more about Protostar. Sorry we didn't get to that comment, but we'll talk about that another time, maybe on here. If you'd like, contact me, casey.oswald@gmail.com, and maybe we can talk about that. So, all right, everyone, thanks for coming. Next week, we're going to have a pre-recorded Q&A for Collaboration Station. So send us some questions if you have any, and we'll chat with you all later. Thanks, Cindy.
All right, thank you.